Welcome back to 2K TV. Bill Simmons, the sports guy. Now, the sports guy is your nickname, but if you were a player, what would you have as your nickname?
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
And the starting lineups have concluded. So just sit right back and relax. We'll be back in just a moment.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Right here on 2K Sports, get ready for the Dallas Mavericks against the Wizards in Washington.
Welcome, fans. Thanks for joining us for this Friday night. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east already. We are in December. Take a look at the Wizards right there in 5th position. And with pregame routines coming to an end, we're just about ready for our tip-off. First, though, let's get a report from the sideline and say hello to David Aldridge.
Well,
it sure is. Thanks, David. Well, Clark, midseason rumors now in full session. When a player requests a trade, how strongly do you think that affects team chemistry?
You know, Kevin, I'm all for players voicing their choice and actually having an opportunity to express themselves, but it can be detrimental if a player in the middle of a season makes it known that he's not interested in being there. It can have a terrible effect on team chemistry, in my opinion.
Now we'll look at Dallas's starting lineup. Inside of the 4 and the 5, Porzingis and Powell. Then there's Doncic, and it's Finney-Smith in at the 3, the small forward. And for the Wizards, Ball runs the point with Beal at the 2. Hachimura out there with Brown, and it's Hernan Gomez in at center. And George gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
And that's a quick foul for him there. It looks like the refs are going to call this one pretty close.
Ball passes to Beal. Launches it. It's hauled in by George. And here's George. He'll bring it up for Dallas. Doncic. And the layup's good off the glass.
Well, you look at Doncic, so confident, even from this area. He knows he can make it happen.
Ball against George. Now here's Wall.
Oh, the power on that. He's putting on a show for these fans.
I can't believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game.
Well, when you know it, you got to show it.
How about 3 or 4 from the floor to start? That's always a good sign.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Here's Beal. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
George, that's a 2-pointer. Rebounded by the Wizards.
Boy, he knows he should have knocked that one down, especially with the defense not giving much of an effort.
And that one's good. Hachimura.
You have to push Hachimura out of there if you're the defense. He's a real problem on the interior.
From deep, George bangs home the trifecta. George has got a couple of threes now in the first for the man.
And off to a strong start offensively. He's got a nice touch.
Again, the Wizards score.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
And you know what? They're going to keep using him. I mean, he'll be the centerpiece of their offense today. You can bank on that. Boy, you got to be in awe of what he's doing this quarter, actually destroying the opponent.
Wizards trail by 5. Ball passes to Hernan Gomez. Teardrop shot. Porzingis with the rebound.
You know, even though it's a point-blank range shot, that's not an easy one, especially when the defense is that tight.
Doncic kicks to George. Good. And the assist goes to Doncic. 14 points for George.
And this is the game plan for him. He's a big part of their floor spacing.
And you know what? It's all about the long-distance game for him tonight. He's getting it done from out there.
So timeout called here. The first for Washington. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
They shot the lights out from deep. Really stretched out the defense. in that one.
There's all kind of talk in the game today about stretching the floor, because when you do that, everything else just becomes a little easier.
Both teams changing it up here. The three from George. And it's in. Basket number 6 for him thus far. He has only missed 2 shots from the floor.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
If it's working, keep working it. That's what I say. Keep the pressure on him.
Hernan Gomez out there with Thomas Bryant. And it's Wall. Then there's Brown. And it's Hachimura in at the 3. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington. They get the rebound. Hernan Gomez. Now in the scoring column with that bucket. 1 for 2 this game.
Second chance points always hurt. Just not enough effort to block out.
Hey, guys standing around spectating, I mean, you got to get in there and get tough.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
Yeah, these defenders just look a bit overmatched, especially inside.
And here's George for 3. The shot that time, not on target. Now Washington takes it the other way. And this is the first time they've matched up with the Mavericks this year.
And this was as even a matchup as you'll find in the NBA. Split the season series down the middle, 1 apiece.
Yeah, this is really tight. I mean, it's splitting hairs when you talk about these teams. You get the feeling if they played 10 games, each side would win 5.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
On when you see that step back 3, Clark for Doncic. Shades of James Harden, the way he gets that shot off.
And you know what they say, Luka's deceleration, hitting the brakes and stopping suddenly, is top-notch. And just like James Harden. So that's quite a compliment. A lot of that is footwork and balance. But I think his quickness, too, guys, has been a little bit underrated. This guy is a little better athlete than he gets credit for.
Porzingis is checked in for Porter. Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. Ball passes to Hernan Gomez. On pass to Wall, and it's sent back by George. Here's Finney-Smith. That one doesn't drop. And Washington the other way now. Here's Hachimura. The Wizards with another miss. Mavericks leading by 14. Outside, George lets it go from deep. Good. And the assist goes to Doncic. Doncic has got 4 assists in the game. And it's Wall with the ball for Washington. Passes to Bryant. Wall looking for an opening. 5 on the clock. Over George. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Hard not to appreciate the brilliance of Wall. I mean, a super fast, quick player. A guy who runs the offense exceedingly well.
Both teams will make substitutions.
And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
And maybe cause some foul trouble along the way as well. We know what that can do. It pays off typically in good fashion for you.
Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
George passes to Kleba. And here we go. Washington fast break. Wall with the ball. And it's sent back by George.
You know, his scoring efficiency has been low, and it's not helping them on the scoreboard.
And he just punishes the D for falling asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, a little disorganized that time. And the result, 2 points in the loudest way possible.
Guys, there has to be better rim protection than that, though. Not very good.
And Wall kicks to Hernan Gomez. Outside, Beal. Now, here is Hernan Gomez. His last outing, he had 8 points. And yes, it's good. I think Gomez has got 6 here in this quarter.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
A nice shot by George.
Boy, like seeing these passes. Doncic has a keen sense for when one of his guys is open, and he gets it to him on time, on target.
And so it's the Dallas Mavericks. Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball. And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. It's been one outstanding game from George.
Man, he's been running wild on them through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
And you know what? I'll be interested to see just how much he's got left in the tank. That first half had to take a lot out of him.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. On the floor for Dallas, inside of the 4 and the 5, Porzingis and Powell. Then there's Luka Doncic, and it's Finney Smith in at the small forward position. And there's George. That's good on the assist by Doncic. 31 points for George.
Boy, he's demanding the ball. He wants it, and he's coming through. I mean, you can see why his teammates trust him down the stretch, guys.
A floater, and Doncic lays it in. Doncic has got 6.
Boy, such a soft release on this difficult shot. Doncic is a master at knowing how and when to use that shot.
Mark, you were so good at such an early age in your basketball career. At what point did you personally realize just how far the game could take you?
You know, it really resonated with me, Kevin, I think at a summer basketball camp at Miami of Ohio when some of the better campers, high school campers, were asked to play with the college guys at night. And then during pickup games in my hometown of Cleveland with some of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Jim Jones and the late Terry Furlow and Mike Mitchell, and being able to compete somewhat with those guys at 15 and 16 years of age and having them encourage me to keep going and that I'd have a chance to do what they were doing at the time, which was play pro ball.
Looking at who's out there now for the Wizards. Bryant comes in for Hernan Gomez, and it's Ish Smith in for John Wall. The Mavericks also with a sub. Seth Curry, he's checked in for Doncic. Basket, good. He has 6.
And his coaches and teammates love that. They want Hachimura getting after it more on that offensive glass.
Here's George, and it's George finishing it off.
It puts the D in a tough spot when you have a point guard who can throw it down.
He really does, GA. He really does put pressure on you.
And you know, guys, showing how dynamic a weapon he is for this offense, they feed off of that energy and ability to make plays. It gets them going.
And Beal kicks to Bryant. Curry against Beal from past the arc. The Mavericks pull it in. George has got 5 rebounds tonight.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game. Hey, whatever adjustments they made at halftime, they are working to perfection.
You know, they came out of the locker room, revved up the gas pedal, and haven't slowed down yet.
Smith kicks to Beal. The Wizards working the ball around now. Here's Hachimura. Misses off the right iron.
You can't look at the result of that shot. They'll take that whenever they get it.
Well, you know, I hear you. That's a good look, but when you're that wide open, I think you got to knock it down.
And George, here we go. Nice shot by Porzingis. Porzingis has got 6.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement. They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Here's Hachimura, headed by Porzingis.
Tell you what, Porzingis showing great timing as the anchor of the defense there.
Washington shooting their 5th and 6th. made 7 out of 9 when they've stepped to the line. And that one falls for Wall. And here's George for 3. Oh, and he just knocked down the buzzer beater.
Ringing the bell. That's the way to close a quarter.
Talk about lifting up a team and energizing them at the end of a quarter. A 3 at the buzzer, that'll do it.
And so it's Dallas in complete command. Their lead at 28 points going into the break. They've been giving John Wall all sorts of problems. He still hasn't been able to solve their defense. We'll return shortly. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Served him up a tasty room service dime right there for him.
And we reach the 4th quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. They've got Kent Bazemore. Also out there is Ish Smith. And it's Griffin in at the center, locking down the middle. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth, physical basketball, guys.
Now the dish to Gray. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Tim Hardaway picks one up. All right, well, a look at how the points have been generated so far. Scoring breakdown for the Mavericks.
Fantastic passing. We saw it in the first half, and it's carried over here in the second.
Something we've also seen them doing tonight is getting the long ball to go down. Big points from outside.
Justin Jackson, he's checked in for Dallas.
And their balanced effort at both ends has hushed this crowd.
Yeah, you said the key word there, balanced. I mean, their big lead owes as much to their defense as their offense.
Smith, the pass to Bonga. The rebound by Marjanovic.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far. And, you know, they're looking good, really good right now because of him. He sees this game by the throat, and he's squeezing hard.
Smith against Doncic. Smith kicks it to Bazemore. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. And so George will bring it up for the Mavericks. Next up on the docket, the Bucks following this one. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand. Washington shooting 32% overall right now. Not one of their better showings. Bonga, no good.
Boy, patrolling the paint well, protecting the rim. That's exactly the kind of defensive effort you need against him.
Outside for Jackson. George, that's a 2-pointer. Bonga pulls it in. For Washington, they've gone 0 of 3 to start the 4th quarter. Here's Gray. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Smith's got 3 assists now in this one. Mavericks have gone 3 of 5 here in the 4th quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Okay, time now for an injury report.
Thanks, Kevin. I got some news from the Wizards' head athletic trainer. I was just told that he did break some ribs, and as you can imagine, this is a very painful and annoying injury. And so that's it for him today. And from how it appears, he could be out for a considerable amount of time. What a tough break. Kevin?
David, thanks for the great update, guys. It doesn't sound good.
No, if that report is accurate, he's going to be spending a lot of time in rehab and on the sidelines.
And in the training room, guys. I mean, that is not going to be an easy injury to bounce back from.
Kleba with the bucket.
And this is how you want to come out of the half. Prolific and efficient.
Boy, I like the disposition and attitude since halftime. They're patiently looking for good shots.
To the middle. Here's Bonga. And nothing is falling for him right now. Dallas has gone 2 of 3 in the 4th quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Mark, the max contract didn't exist when you were playing. Is it something that should be up for debate?
Well, it's a function of the economics of the league now, and in theory, there's some reasons why you have max contracts, because a guy has earned that opportunity, a way to keep a star player or a max contract player with the same team, I think is part of the reasoning behind it. I mean, debating it and talking about it is probably something that makes some sense. If you're thinking about getting rid of it, I'm not so sure.
Wizards have gone 1 of 5 from the field here in the fourth. A lot of misses, just the one make.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Mavericks.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And guys, at this point in the long NBA season, this will go down as win number 25.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
It sure is. It's just a 2-gamer since they're in opposite conferences, and you can bet they'll take the same approach right into game 2 that they had tonight.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for George.
He affected the game so much with the way he was able to come out and get steals and extra possessions for his team. Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact, straightforward call, simple.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Lights checked in. And George drops them both. Here's Smith. There's 49 seconds left in the fourth. Pass to Hernan Gomez. The alley-oop layup, very well done.
No hesitation at all on the alley-oop. Saw his teammate with a path to the hoop, and bang, lobbed it right up there for him to finish.
And he was ready for it when he elevated and made the catch.
And he chose the conservative finish with the nice, easy layup, which was a good decision.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Smith drives in. Here's Griffin. And he comes up with the deuce.
It's always great to get into a rhythm, but do it when it matters.
Now they're playing with urgency. They could have done it much earlier, before the game was out of reach.
George finds Porter. George looking over the floor. Over Griffin. Another bucket. Wow! He's been absolutely ridiculous in this game.
You get the